It's Brainwash with Dr. Tom and Guitar Picks with Rob Seals. Marc Cohn. Dig down deep.
Dig down deep. Well, I chose, here's another piano guy, principally. Marc Cohn plays guitar, and he plays guitar very well. He actually plays guitar left-handed, which is always startling to see someone do that, and wonderful to see. I think Hendrix is the only other lefty I had on my list, if I'm not mistaken. I love the song, but I really wanted to talk about this record because not only is my one of my heroes, John Leventhal, whom I mentioned in the context of Sean Colvin, all over this thing, and he has that characteristic guitar sound that I was describing earlier that you'll recognize when you hear this track. But also, the producer of this record he's one of my favorite producers, and he's not really a household name, and he's not someone who has continued to work on big projects like this one. This was a Grammy winner for him. The producer's name is Ben Wish, and I just love Ben Wish's sensibilities. He makes these just gorgeous, lush productions that always serve the song and never feel like clothes that are dressing up a songwriter in ways that don't belong, and that's a quality that I aspire to as a player and as a producer, and I feel like this is a song that gets pretty big, and it's got the choral voice thing going on and this little subsonic drum, but it also, at the heart of it, has just got this great intensity on the guitar and the vocal, and that record was a real important one for me in the early 90s, as I was starting to think about not just how do you write a song, how do you tell a story, but how do you sort of film the movie of the song, and that's sort of what production is like, putting not just the storyline, but the lighting and the evolution of the storyline, and Ben Wish is one of the best at it, in my opinion.
So you have a soloist or a band, they have a song, and it's to a certain level, and maybe now we could have you just illustrate maybe that level, and then what a producer does to bring it to that next level.
Yeah. Well, I think every producer does it differently, and so many would disagree, but I think the first job of the producer is to make decisions with the artist in what they call pre-production, where you absolutely decide on things like about the lyric and about the phrasing and the length of the song, and do we really want this long instrumental here, or should there be a chorus, or that sort of thing. And once you sort of lay out the skeleton or the blueprint of the song, then I think it's about getting players who can support the song and interpret not just the lyric but the vocal delivery. And so a lot of the records that I've ended up producing in the last couple of years have really been based around a singer-songwriter who comes in with just his or her guitar and voice, and that's all they know. That's what their song is. And the idea then is anything you add to that is, on the one hand, not them, and so it needs to seem entirely like them or consistent with them, and yet pushing kind of the boundaries of the song. And so you begin going for, if you add an electric guitar, you're looking for colors. And when I say colors, I mean the sound of the guitar that somehow supports either the attitude of the vocal. I mean, if it's kind of a gravelly, angry vocal, then you probably can step on that distortion pedal a little and overdrive the guitar a little. All these things just have to be in there. But the thing about an acoustic guitar that's interesting to me is it's the whole band in one. It's a percussion instrument first, it's a harmonic instrument second, and it's a melodic instrument third, meaning it's the drum kit, it's the bass, and it's guitar and piano. It's doing all those things. And when you really listen to someone play the acoustic guitar, even if they don't know it, they're giving you all the information of the band. And I think the producer's job is to interpret and then sort of parcel out those pieces so that there's not too much going on at once.
In the movie about the Temptations with Berry Gordy leading his team of writers and that kind of thing, he would ask, would you buy a sandwich or would you buy the single? How would you respond to that? Is that something that you think about when you're producing someone else's song? Or do you have that end product in mind where your listener, they want to buy that single?
I hear you. Yeah. Well, I think it's a different era in terms of singles. We don't sell singles in the same way in the singer-songwriter genre, but certainly if you're at the major label level and you've got something on the radio, then the only way it gets on the radio is if it meets that criteria, I think.
But if you exchange it with CD or whatever.
I think My feeling, and maybe to get at a significantly different level of production, you have to change this. But my feeling is, my first job is to honor the song, and therefore honor the artist. And that doesn't mean pushing the artist to improve the song, to make the song as good as it can be. But in the end, I'm setting out to honor whatever the mission of that song is. And if in the end, then it sort of meets some standards that would make it appealing. My hope is that if the song was worth telling or singing in the first place, if we honor it, somebody's going to want to hear it and buy it. But if we haven't honored the song, we've sort of dressed it up in clothes it doesn't belong in. And someone might buy it, but I'm not sure it has an enduring value, if that's the case.
Has someone ever brought you something and say, I need help with this, and you say, you don't need me for this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think as a producer, you need to know when you're the right person for the job and when someone else could do a better job, or if their vision is already realized and maybe they really don't need your help, or if they need a level of help that you're not able or prepared to do. One of my friends, John Alasia, who he and his partner Doug Derryberry produced my duo's first record, Seals and Butler, and John has gone on to do a lot of big records, including John Mayer's previous record. That's a lot of use of the word record there. But anyway, John said that when John Mayer came into the studio to do Room for Squares, he's such a talented guy, he already knew exactly what he wanted. And so John Alasia said, well, my role was just to stay out of the way, make good decisions, create a supportive environment, get good players, and make the thing happen. Some artists don't have as clear of a vision, and one of the things you're trying to do is either help them have a vision, help clarify their vision, or maybe give them a new vision if they haven't come to one before.